In this video, I'm going to talk about how NeroKnowledge solved YouTube. And if you're wondering who the heck I am, I'm AJ. I'm in the background of pretty much every single video that NeroKnowledge has shot since, I don't know, the start of this year, late last year, something like that. And I helped him with the editing and producing every single video that he's pretty much made. And for those of you who don't know who NeroKnowledge is, he went from 5,000 YouTube subscribers to over 100,000 in 5 weeks. And again, in this video, I'm going to break down the strategy that we used and every single thing along the way that helped him go from 5,000 to over 100,000 in 5 weeks. But for you to understand the context of how we actually did that, let's start from the very beginning. And like any other human, and yes, Nero is a human, he gets mad accusations of being a Caucasian or a reptile because of the knowledge that he's spitting, but he is human. And he started at 0 YouTube subscribers, just like anyone else. And the initial plan was to take over YouTube, which we eventually did, but we was gonna do faceless YouTube videos. Just like it was probably like a trend at the time, you know, it's easily produced, you outsource the work, and then it's just, yeah, it runs on autopilot. That's far from the truth, right? Because we started off very consistent. Our plan was to post 1 video every single week on a Sunday, and I would get the video audio probably like on a Monday. I have time to edit it throughout the week, and then on Sunday we'll post. Now, it started off well. After a few weeks, it got to the point where scripts were being done late, the audio was being recorded late, and I'll get the video on a Thursday. Now, it's a tight deadline to get it turned over on the Sunday, especially when these videos are taking me probably about 12 hours because they're faceless. And I don't want to just make them, you know, just black screen white text throughout the whole entire video. I want to add B-roll, some nice animations, some icons, etc., etc. It will take 12 hours. Now, taking 12 hours out of my day from Thursday to Sunday, especially on the weekend when I'm busy and I've got other clients, like just other client work to fulfill, it became extremely difficult, leading us to basically miss like some weeks or post late. And I think at one point we were posting videos instead of Sunday, we were posting on Wednesday because the video was getting done late, and then we got in a cycle of basically missing Sunday and then posting during the week. It was just a mess, and some weeks we would miss weeks. Now, you're probably thinking the main problem here is consistency. Like, how do we even solve that? Now, we did that for a whole year. You probably can call it stubbornness, right? We did it for a whole year, and he went from 0 to 5,000. Now, for a lot of people, that would have been, wow, 5,000 subs. Like, you're monetized, you've hit the watch hours, you've got the subscribers, you're probably getting leads for your business or whatever it is. If you don't know this already, Nero has high expectations, and 5,000 YouTube subscribers was not enough. How can we take over YouTube with 5,000 YouTube subscribers? So there was a point where our videos were just hella inconsistent. We kind of hit a plateau. We weren't getting like any breakout videos, any outliers. So we call them. So he took a break. He took a step back and basically analyzed everything. And then he came to me and basically said he's finally going to show his face on YouTube, which I told him to do at the start. Before we did faceless videos, I said we should just do talking head videos like we do on your Instagram, where he sits down and talks to the camera just like this and just gives his knowledge, and I'll add my parts in there while I'm editing. He finally said he's going to show his face on YouTube, and I think that's what changed everything. But he didn't want to do normal sitting talking head videos because 1, it's boring. 2, he's like, I'm not going to be able to read off a script, and he was kind of worried about it. So we did whiteboard videos. Now, whiteboard videos, it kind of gives that an extra element. Instead of someone talking to the camera, like just like this, and just using their hands and their face and their facial expressions to kind of get you engaged, obviously in their words, there's also a whiteboard. So we can write down and break down knowledge and break down concepts, and it will just make it a lot easier for people to understand. Now, that's exactly what we did. But it's not just the whiteboard video which, you know, make him blow from 5,000 pause. Whoa, that made him blow from 5,000 subs to over 100,000. Because if it is, then anyone that has a whiteboard can just make a whiteboard video and then blow up on YouTube, which isn't the case, because I see a bunch of niggas copying him and it's just not working. And in another video, I'll probably break down why you shouldn't just flat out copy people, because it's not going to work for you. So the strategy that took him from 5,000 YouTube subs to over 100,000 is actually very simple, and you guys can copy it if you want. We chose a dedicated recording day, and that recording day doesn't change unless something comes up for the both of us. And if it does change, we change it to the day before or the day after, just to keep it in line. He outsourced the editing. Obviously, I'm the editor, so he doesn't have to do that. That's my responsibility. So all he has to do is worry about basically getting in front of the camera and talking. And a major thing that kind of helped us be more consistent is the scripting and the planning stage reduced in time, because he no longer had to come up with like a full script word for word, bar for bar. It was just all off the top of his head. So the only thing that we had to come up with in this strategy was the idea, the title, and the thumbnail, or like a brief concept of the thumbnail before we actually made the video. And then we'd basically, well, he will get in front of the camera that I've set up in front of the whiteboard. I'll count down, and then he's just go. And he'll go no takes, and he'll go for 40 minutes. And then in the strategy, we increase the amount of videos that we're posting every single week. One, because the videos are technically easier to produce, even though they're longer. And you know, more volume means faster results at the end of the day. So instead of posting one video a week, we were posting 2 videos. One was on Wednesday, one was on Sunday. And that just kind of built the momentum. And, you know, we were able to stay consistent, which means momentum kept building. And I know you're probably thinking, okay, so I can copy the strategy, but I still don't understand, like, if it wasn't the whiteboard that made NeroKnowledge blow up, what actually made him blow up? And don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to break it down. It's actually very simple, and it did take me a while to actually think and dissect what actually separated Nero from everyone else. Now, starting off at number 1, there was less effort put into every single video. Now, that might sound backwards, where it's like, what, less effort put into the videos and your videos blew up? Now, you need to think of it like this. When you're reading a script, it can be very monotone, it can be very boring, and sometimes it's hard to inject your personality when you're just reading off a script or when you're writing. Whereas when you're talking from, you know, maybe bullet points or off the top of your head, you might think of something and you're just going to say it because that's just you. You might laugh, you might stutter, you might say some ums, and that's just natural. So putting less effort into your videos actually works hand in hand with being more authentic and natural. And plus, that's what allowed us to be consistent when posting. Because it took him less time to script the video, because there was no scripting needed, he could spend extra time on, you know, making the video a bit longer so people can understand the concept. And because it was no longer faceless, it took, instead of 12 hours of me editing a video, it only took 2 hours of editing a video, which means I can do 2 videos in 4 hours, whereas 2 videos would have took me 24 hours, which can be very expensive, time consuming, and there's a risk of, you know, being inconsistent if something was to go wrong. So if you guys are creating content and you're wondering, man, being consistent is tough, I'm not growing, look at your content process. Are you scripting it out? If you are, try to reduce it to bullet points, because a lot of the time when you're scripting anyway, sometimes you don't even read it word for word. Sometimes you think, oh, it would be better if I say it this way, and that's not on the script. And also think to yourself, how much time am I spending on the editing process? Am I spending too long? Am I over editing? Like, a lot of the times when we edit, a lot of the stuff that we put in is actually just not needed at all. And number 2, I'd say lean into your personality. Now, Nero, a lot of the time when I see him, he's in a do-rag. He doesn't have a trim, so he's wearing a do-rag. And a thing that stopped us from recording short form content in the past was he had to have a trim every time he recorded videos. And sometimes he didn't have a trim, so we didn't record, and we'll skip that recording day, and then we'll be behind the content, and then there's no content, and it's just a bad cycle to be in. So he decided he's just going to wear his do-rag. He's going to be himself because he wears a do-rag. It's not like he's got a trim 24/7. He always wore his glasses anyway when he's making social media content, so that didn't change. That was him. And a lot of the time when I come record for the short form content, he normally answers the door in a vest, and then he gets changed into like a different outfit. So he thought, you know what, I'm just gonna wear what I wear, which is vest, shorts, do-rag, and glasses for social media. And for the heck of it, which shows his personality, he was like, oh, this probably just looks slightly funny, you know, a nigger in a do-rag and a wife beater about to spit some knowledge, spit some game. I might as well put on a chain and just, you know, really dig into this black guy vibe. I was I'm not trying to get YouTube to take my video down by saying the N word too much. And ultimately, leaning into your personality just makes you unique and stand out. Because when you think about it, in the manifestation or spiritual space, how many people were there that was in a wife beater, a do-rag, glasses, and were black and were standing in front of a whiteboard with no script and just spitting game? Literally no one. Obviously there is now, and again, if you're copying, you know what, I ain't gonna say it again. And number 3 is leveraging AI. Once we got into the flow of actually posting consistent videos twice a week, we actually started to break those videos down into short form content using Opus Clips. And I'm not going to gatekeep that. You can go on Opus Clips, you can sign up. It's actually like £15. You get so many credits. You can break down a lot of your videos, turn them from long form into shorts, and you can schedule them from Opus onto like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. This is not a paid promo. This is not a paid promo, even though it probably should be, but you guys can check it out. I'm not going to leave a link because, you know, you can just type it in for yourself. And honestly, leveraging short form is such a cheat code because it took us such little time to do, and the gain is just, it was just amazing. Like, we would set up 2 short form videos every single day, and you know, some will get 1,000 views, some will get 5,000, 10,000, and those additional views will bring in subscribers, and people will be like, oh my gosh, where can I watch the full video? They'll click on the profile, see it's NeroKnowledge, and then see the long form videos, and then they'll go from there. And honestly guys, that's everything that we did. However, you're probably thinking, wow, then there's nothing really special about it. And honestly, it's all about the principles of making a good video. And the principles of making a good video is just induce enough curiosity that people actually want to watch the video, and have a curiosity loop so they don't know exactly what's going to be the answer to the questions that they have in their head, so they have to finish the video to get the answer. And then obviously that's how you get the watch time, that's how you get the click-through rate, and then that's how you get your video pushed out to more viewers and more viewers, and then, you know, you'll blow up on YouTube. But that was a simple video of how NeroKnowledge solved YouTube. And if you are a creator, coach, consultant, agency owner, anyone that creates content that wants to blow up their social media, build a personal brand, and get higher quality leads for their business, there's a link in the description to work with me one-on-one, where I'll teach you the content principles, we'll come up with a strategy, and we'll get you to where you want to be.